Coming up tonight on YCN News, we take a look at the storm and a special on-site tour through the Lake Sunapee region. And if you're into organic farming, we've got the weekend conference for you. For more news, sports, and weather, it's time for YCN, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening. It's Tuesday, January 27th. I'm Laura James. Welcome to YCN News. In a news conference this morning, New Hampshire Governor Maggie Hassan thanked state employees for handling snow cleanup. She also thanked residents and businesses for making the right decisions today, staying home and off the road so that state and local highway and public work crews could keep up with the snowfall. The governor explained the steps taken in state government.
We've closed state government, which is a highly unusual step for us to do. Only personnel who are essential to storm response, to law enforcement, and to taking care of people in our health facilities are being called in.
Snow fell throughout today, sometimes at a rate of 4 inches per hour in some sections of the state. Visibility remained a factor, too, in motorists who had to go out, so piles of snow and wind gusts blocking a driver's ability to see the road. New Hampshire remains in a state of emergency, per the governor's declaration last night, and the governor added National Guard personnel have been notified to be ready to assist with storm response too. Additionally, the New Hampshire State Emergency Operations Center is open and will remain open as long as is necessary. State public safety and emergency management officials are working with local officials to open warming stations and shelters as needed. For more information about shelters, including the closest pet-friendly shelter, residents can contact 211 New Hampshire toll-free or by dialing 211 in-state or calling 1-866-444-4211 from out of state. Meanwhile, New Hampshire state government will be open tomorrow per Governor Hassan. The regularly scheduled governor and council meeting will be delayed until noon tomorrow, and the governor and council breakfast will be canceled. While state offices will be open Wednesday, the governor recognizes road travel may be difficult in the morning, and as such, she asks that commissioners and other department heads be liberal in granting leave for state employees. Thanks to NH1 for providing video of Governor Hassan's conference today. Schools throughout the region and state were closed today, including SAU 6 in Claremont, SAU 43 in Newport and Croydon, SAU 65 comprising the Kearsarge region, and SAU 70 in Hanover and Norwich, Vermont, SAU 77 in Lebanon, and SAU 85 in Sunapee. For students who attend the 7 schools that make up SAU 65, today was Blizzard Bag Day number 2. The Kearsarge School District is one of nearly a dozen schools in New Hampshire that require students to complete homework assignments from a blizzard bag. Now, it's not always a physical bag, as is noted in an early New Hampshire public radio story and heard by a YCN news reporter at Cornish Elementary School board meetings. The Cornish School District also participates in Blizzard Bag Days. Blizzard Bag assignments are meant to keep student learning on track despite not being able to attend class in winter weather, and to keep the student calendar on schedule too, to avoid making up those lost winter school days in the hotter summer months. So Blizzard Bag assignments and activities count as a complete day of school if 80% of students in the district complete the off-school site work. Teachers in a Blizzard Bag school district are also on duty even if the school is not open. Teachers must be able to respond to students' questions about a Blizzard Bag assignment or task. A phone call between the student and teacher or an online Q&A exchange typically suffices. Blizzard Bag assignments also must be able to be done the old-fashioned way, meaning if there is no internet connection at a student's home, the assignments must be able to be completed without home or library computer access. Unity Elementary Schools also participate in Blizzard Bag Days. Cornish and Unity are part of SAU 6, along with Claremont Public Schools. None of Claremont's schools, however, take part in Blizzard Bag Days. The Kearsarge School District introduced to New Hampshire the idea of Blizzard Bag Days back in 2009 under the leadership of Superintendent Jerry Frew. When we face winter storm conditions as we have today, reminders to be safe on the roadways are paramount. Officer Ray Keefe is with Troop D of the Vermont State Police in Brattleboro and says there are 2 words to remember in this storm: common sense. In speaking with YCN News, Keefe said citizens were staying off the road for the most part and that it's generally good news as the roads were not in great shape earlier today. Officer Keefe reminds us, as we live in New England where harsh winters are the norm, using caution and common sense is key when going outside or driving a car or truck. So here's what we do. Remember to watch out for ice, especially on bridges, ramps, and overpasses. Drive slowly, minimize distractions, and don't tailgate. 4- and all-wheel drive vehicles have better traction in snow, but not on ice. Be wary of overconfidence. Don't use cruise control and do use headlights. Be extra careful near snowplows. Never try to pass on the right or when the snow clouds prevent you from seeing clearly, and allow plenty of room. Travel in daylight on main roads. Don't go out alone and let others know your route and schedule. To avoid skidding, take it slow and don't make sudden changes in speed or direction. To slow down with control, take your foot off the gas and let the weight of the vehicle slow the car or truck down on its own. If you need to use brakes, squeeze the pedal with slow, steady pressure. Don't pop anti-lock brakes or remove your foot from the pedal when they vibrate. To recover from a skid, steer in the direction you want the vehicle to go, correcting as needed to the right and left until you've restored control. After the break, we will bring you more news from around our region.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Laura James. Host of YCN's Capital Connections, John O'Connor, put on a different hat today, literally, and hit the road to report on snow conditions across New Hampshire. Now, starting with Main Street, New London.
Laura, I'm on my way to Claremont here in New London at the ice skating rink. As you can see from the sign behind me, it's open, but I will tell you, there's about 8 inches of snow on top of the ice, so nobody will be skating today. Wind's blowing about 20-25 miles an hour, snow's coming in sideways, but other than that, it's a perfect day to be in New England.
His next step was at chilly Sunapee, New Hampshire.
Hi Laura, I'm in Sunapee, New Hampshire on my way to Claremont. The roads are in fair condition, they're passable, traffic is light, that's really making it easy for people who have to be out like me. It's 10 degrees outside and the wind's still blowing.
John's journey continued to Newport.
Laura, here I am in Newport, New Hampshire, and it may be my imagination, but it seems like the further east I go, the lighter the snow gets, the wind's died a little bit. The roads are still passable. You can see more traffic out here than we saw in New London. I think it's the northeastern track of this storm. The further west we go, the less snow, and so it really shows how much a difference the storm track makes. They get hammered on the coast, but here we are in the mountains. It looks great. But I'll see you in a minute when I get to Claremont.
And finally, this tuckered out reporter finished up in Claremont, New Hampshire.
Well, we made it into Claremont, Laura. Things are good here. The roads are passable still. Sun's just peeking out from the clouds, but there's still breeze.
And there you have it, the inside snowy story from YCN's John O'Connor, with big thanks for braving the elements today. In other Vermont news, there will be a changing of the guard at the Agency of Natural Resources. Natural Resources Board Chairman Ron Shems is stepping down from that position after 4 years on the job. John Grobman will take his place. Grobman now is the ANR's General Counsel. Governor Peter Shumlin thanks Shems for his hard work and dedication, especially his work updating the state's land use law, known as Act 250. The Natural Resources Board oversees how Act 250 is implemented. Act 250, as Shems says, is the state's premier environmental statute that safeguards Vermont's quality of life. Grobman's earlier work on the state natural resources concerns prepares him for this new opportunity. In a statement, Grobman says he looks forward to balancing the business growth of Vermont with the Act 250 program. Oh, wind, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? That's Percy Bysshe Shelley's poem, Ode to the West Wind. It may make us wonder about spring's arrival, but fear not, spring will return. And to keep you thinking of warmer days ahead, this Saturday's conference of the Northeast Organic Farming Association, New Hampshire chapter, may inspire you. This year's NOFA New Hampshire 13th Annual Winter Conference. Over 35 workshops are planned, including legal issues for vegetable and fruit producers, balancing farm and family needs, seed farming, and working with land trusts. The conference will be held in Concord Saturday, January 31st. The hours are 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Rundlet Middle School. That's at 144 South Street. Now, to learn more about registration, go online to nofanh.org. There are registration fees. The conference, by the way, costs $68 for NOFA members, $85 for non-members, and a program geared for children is $35. A locally sourced organic breakfast and lunch is included in all registration costs. When YCN News returns, we'll join River Valley Chronicle's Elizabeth Gerazio. She sat down with Mark Brislin, Parks and Recreation Director for the City of Claremont.
The YCN News continues in a moment.